I am going to hand it over to our presenter. And here we go.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. My name is Leah Banks. I'm the Associate Dean of Continuing Education at Harold Washington College. I will be speaking a bit about some of our programs across the district. So if you have any questions, please feel free to, is it okay should they save them to the end, Vian, or enter them in the chat?
Oh, yes, thank you. So please enter all of your questions into the chat. And then at the end, I'm going to be monitoring, the Q&A, and we're going to be, I'll be curating that conversation. So yes, please put them in the chat.
Okay, thank you. So first, again, I want to introduce myself. My name is Leah Banks. I am the Associate Dean of Continuing Education at Harold Washington. If you don't know a lot about the City Colleges of Chicago, we are the district colleges within Chicago. So any community college within the city is considered a City College of Chicago. We have seven locations across the city. And so we're all very different. Harold Washington is located downtown. We're located at 30 East Lake. And each one of the city colleges does have an area of expertise, even though we offer all kinds of courses. So Harold Washington's area of expertise is business, because we're in the Loop, we're in the business district. We also specialize in technology classes, some of which I'll be speaking about tonight. And just to tell you all a little bit more about continuing education is the non-credit part of the City Colleges of Chicago. So we emphasize what we call personal and professional development. So we have fun classes like yoga and ceramics. Ceramics is one of our most popular classes at Harold Washington. It fills every semester. And then we also have more serious courses for people who want to upskill or just take a course for professional development. And those are some of the courses that I'm going to speak about tonight. Okay, so this is a great example of one of the courses we have that focus more on tech. We have a newer partnership with Google where we offer what's called Grow with Google courses. And those courses are offered through Google and the Coursera platform. So what I love about these courses is that they are essentially self-guided courses. And so the students can log on, take the courses at their leisure. You have usually about 20 weeks to complete these courses. We use what's called a course facilitator model for these courses. So once a week, the instructors do lecture to the students, go through the material, answer any questions. But this course, I'm sorry, I don't know why my slides are moving by themselves. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's hope it stays there. Okay. Wait, let me try to, okay. And so this is one of the courses that I really am excited about, because it's a great course for students who want to get into the technology field. It's a basic certificate, but we have a lot of students who want to enter the field and they don't know exactly how to get into technology. So a lot of them do take that course. Even though the course started on June 10th, we do allow students to actually take that course, to join that course a little bit later, because it is self-guided study. So students can join the course. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to stop this because it is going on its own. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, I think I know the problem. I think there's a timer. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm just gonna, I need to do it this way because I'm scared that it's going to take off on a mind of its own. So I apologize for any of that. But I need you to be able to see the slide. Okay, sorry about the background. And so the Google IT support is, to me, one of our best courses for students who want to enter IT support. I know this group, there may be a lot of people who are already very deep into tech, but if you know anyone who's interested in getting started into the technology fields, this is a great way. And to me, the best part about this course is it's only $49. So it's a great value, and it's one of those courses that we actually offer for the public so that people can enter into the field. There's not a huge financial commitment. We give students about 5 months to complete the course, and it's a lot cheaper than if you actually logged onto Google and did the course through Coursera. I believe it's $79 a month. So our version is a lot cheaper. Then you also have the benefit of having instructors to help you with the material as well. So some of the more advanced courses that we have are our Microsoft Excel certification courses. So as far as from what we hear from employers, the Microsoft Excel is one of the most in-demand skill sets. So most employers do want students to have Microsoft Excel skills. So this is a great course for those who are already working or looking to get a job or upskill. We have two different versions of this course. We have the Associates, which prepares you for the Associates exam. So after students complete this course, they can sit for the Microsoft Associates exam and become certified, which is awesome. We also have the Microsoft Excel Expert exam, where students can sit for that exam and become certified in the Microsoft Excel Expert. So these are examples of courses that are for people who may be a little bit more advanced, but this is a very popular course, even for our employees and students and those who want to learn more about Microsoft Excel because it's such a marketable skill. This course also starts in August, so if you're interested in this course, there's still plenty of time to register. You can certainly reach out to me about that if you're interested or if you know someone who's interested. One of our other very popular courses that we offer here at Harold Washington in the continuing education space is our project management course. So project management is another very hot field right now. There's two levels of project management certification. The level that most people know about is called the PMP. And so that's the major certification in project management. You have to have, I believe, 10,000 hours of project management to actually sit for that. And you also have to take the exam. But what we offer is a lighter version, which is called the CAP-M. It's also administered by the Project Management Institute, so it is industry recognized, and it's an easier certification because for this certification, you don't need to have all of those hours of project management. And so pretty much if you sit for our course, then you can register for the exam, and you can, if you pass the exam, you'll be project management certified. So this is also a great certificate, and we just started offering this course last year, and it's become one of our more popular courses. The price for this one is $4.99, so it's a little bit more than some of our tech courses. But for students who are interested in getting into project management or are already working, this is an excellent certification to have. And so the course starts on July 9th and runs through September 24th. Our teacher is very good. He's PMI certified. He's been teaching this for quite a while. And I think this is one of those certifications that works no matter what field you're in. Whether you're in healthcare, education, technology, journalism, this project management certification can certainly help with upskilling. Now, we also offered a Grow with Google Data Analytics Certificate. This one is also very popular. This one started back in May, so we won't be running it again probably until the spring. This course is also offered through the Grow with Google platform. What I love about this course is that our teacher actually works at Google. He works in data analytics. Google is to me, they are a cool company because they allow their employees to volunteer. And so each employee is able to volunteer as part of a project. So his volunteer project is to teach for us. And so we're so happy to have him. He lectures our students once a week and then guides them through the materials. And then at the end, they're able to earn their Google Data Analytics certificate. So this is one of our newer classes, but it has been very popular. And our instructor is a really good instructor. And I love that our students are able to interact with a professor that actually works at Google. Coming up next month, we have a Computer Basics Bootcamp. So this one is for people who really are not comfortable navigating the computer. You know, a lot of people, when they see this, they automatically assume that this course is geared towards seniors, but there are actually a lot of young people who also need help navigating the computer, learning how to do things like send an email with an attachment, reboot the computer, download files onto a computer, things like that, things that a lot of people struggle with and may not want to admit that. And there are also a lot of people who do admit that they struggle and want to strengthen their computer skills. So we're basically offering a shorter version of this for the summer, and we're calling it the Computer Basics Bootcamp. And so the instructor that I have for this course, he has been teaching these basic computer courses for years. He has a lot of experience helping students who are novices. So I know this group is probably too advanced for this course, but if you have like a grandmother or aunt or uncle or someone who needs that extra help, we will be starting this class on Thursday, July 10th. Now this one, most of our classes are offered via Zoom. All of the courses that I've discussed, the Google ITSP, the Microsoft Excel, the CAPM project management course, those courses are all offered via Zoom. So you can be anywhere in the city, take those courses from the comfort of your own home. This course, the Computer Basics Bootcamp, this course is actually offered in person for obvious reasons, because we have an awesome computer lab. We want students to come down, to use the computer, to interact with our teacher, and you really can't teach people how to use a computer over Zoom. And so this is one of the few courses that's in person, which is why I offer it in the summer. The weather's nice, it's daylight pretty late, and so it's good for people who want to come down. So this one, I encourage you all, if you know anyone, please send them my way, because we really, for this one, want to fill this course with students who need these basic computer skills, and then maybe can build up to other skills. Okay, so today I'm talking specifically about some of our Harold Washington continuing education courses and tech courses, but also I'm going to touch base on some of our courses that we offer and programs that we offer across the district. Now, if you all have any questions, of course, save them for the end, or you can email me directly. And if I don't have the answer, I will definitely put you in touch with the person who has the answer. And so we have a new technology website that we're really excited about that has a lot of information, which I'll share with you at the end. It has a lot of information about our tech offerings across the district. In addition to continuing education tech offerings, which are non-credit, we also have tech offerings that are credit courses. And so that's a great opportunity for those who want to go into maybe an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree and really go into the tech field from the education route, because we recognize that some students don't want to pursue degrees. They may want certificates, they may want advanced certificates. And so I think that's one of the great things about our programs, is that we have something for everyone. And we do acknowledge that a lot of tech companies want students to build skills and earn certifications, and maybe not necessarily a degree. So we do have something for students, no matter what path they're on. So some of the things that we offer are short-term certificates to enter this tech field. You can also take credit classes on your way to an associate's degree, level up your career with a new credential. So a lot of people who come to us are actually career changers. One of our most popular programs is we offer a CompTIA cybersecurity certification, and that is one of our most popular programs. So many students come to me and they want cyber. We also offer the CompTIA Network Plus certification, which is also very popular. And both of those programs are not accepting applications now, but will be in the future. So if you specifically want to know about CompTIA Network Plus or Security Plus, you can definitely email me and I'll put you in touch with the program directors. The great thing about those two programs with the CompTIA courses is that those are grant funded, so those courses are free. And that's a huge bargain, because those courses are well over $1,000 if you had to pay the tuition. And so this is a great opportunity to upskill, and it's for people who are career changers. Some of our programs are open to people who live in certain zip codes. So they're very hyper specific, but certainly if you reach out to me, I can connect you with someone or explain on a deeper level what we have to offer to see if we have something that works for you. Okay. Some of the good things too that we offer are access to apprenticeships and internships that may be harder to secure on your own, but going through us and working through our career center, it's a little bit easier to access some of that, some of those opportunities. Okay, so just to break down some of our offerings, because the city colleges, we have a lot of initiatives. And I was once at a meeting where they said that we have over 200,000 pages behind our website, which is unfortunate because a lot of times students are lost trying to find information on our website. Sometimes I'm even a little bit confused looking for information. And so that's why I'm really excited about our new tech website, which I'll give you at the end of the presentation, because it brings all of our tech offerings together, whether it's continuing education, credit offerings, certificates, associates, no matter what you're interested in, you can find it through our new tech website. So some of the programs that we offer across the district are networking at systems and technology. And just to give you a little background on these acronyms and what they mean, BC is a basic certificate, AC is advanced certificate, and AAS is an associate's degree. Okay, so depending on what you're interested in, our courses usually do run for a non-traditional length of time. So for example, the Google ITSP course that I started with at the beginning, that course usually runs between 20 and 23 weeks, which is pretty long when you think about a normal semester being 16 weeks. But because these are basic certificates, advanced certificates, sometimes they do run a little bit longer. So we also have cybersecurity, software development, web development, game design and development, cloud computing, and AI, of course, because everyone wants to learn more about AI. I also want to let you all know, because we do have 7 locations. They're all very different. I like to call us 7 siblings, right? Because we're all related. And our chancellor likes to say we're 7 strong, but we're all very different in what we offer. So if you're looking for a specific program, it may not be at Harold Washington, it may be at another location. But I would say this, a vast majority of our classes are offered through Zoom and through distance learning. So if you're worried about traveling to a campus, usually you don't have to do that, especially with tech courses. And some of our tech courses are a hybrid model, which, for example, our cybersecurity meets 2 days during the week, and then on Saturdays it meets in person. So we do gear these courses towards people who are maybe working or have families or have other obligations. And I think that's one of the best things about our format, is that you don't have to come in the daytime, because a lot of students have other obligations and they can't come during the day, but we are very flexible with our course offerings. Okay, some of our credit programs, because we are community college, we have a huge emphasis on transfer. So students who do want to transfer to a 4-year institution, we certainly have programs to help get you there. Degrees in computer science, cybersecurity, web development, computer engineering. We also have some very strong partnerships with universities across the state. The University of Illinois, we have a partnership with, specifically computer engineering, IIT, and then also other schools through the schools of engineering. Our University of Illinois partnership is pretty new, and then we've also are working on adding some more partnerships as well. So if you're interested in maybe starting with us to save some money and then transferring it to a bigger institution, we can certainly support you in that mission. We also have some really good partners, and I think that helps strengthen our programs. Our partners help us with a myriad of things. So some of the things our partners help with are offering our students apprenticeships, offering our students internships, also volunteering with our students, mentoring them. These are some of the things that we are able to work with our partners with, as well as course offerings, because our Grow with Google program is one of our strongest programs. It brings the name recognition of Google to us. And also it saves us the time of building these courses, because we're able to use Google's format and offer it to students for a lot cheaper than they would pay on their own, and help students who want to get into tech and other fields. And so our partners certainly help strengthen all of our tech programs. And it's one of the things that helps also us with developing not only our curriculum, but helping to develop our students into working professionals. So this is only, again, a very small amount of what we have to offer, but I can certainly answer questions about any of our programs. And we also, you can scan our QR code, which takes you to our new tech website. So either one of these works. The website, you can type it in, or you can use our QR code to go directly to the website. If you're interested in specifically some of the courses that I have at Harold Washington College, then you can use my QR code, which is here. Or you can also email Harold Washington-continuinged@ccc.edu, or you can also email me at lbanks32@ccc. I'm sorry I could not, that my presentation, I promise I know how to use a computer, guys. I'm so sorry that I'm having trouble, but thank you so much for listening to more about our programs. I'd love to answer any questions you have.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. And we're just going to start with some questions from the audience. It looks like a couple of folks are interested in how can we at Chi Hack Night help you at city colleges. I'm thinking probably in terms of like a volunteer capacity, or however you want to do that. So how can Chi Hack Night help?
I think one of the things you can help is really to spread the word, because so many of our courses are for the community. So many are offered at a discount or free. One of the things that is so hard for all schools, not just us, for all schools, higher education institutions, we all struggle with marketing, because now it's really the only way to get the information in the hands of students. And marketing is something that we definitely need help with. And really also spreading the word, because so many of our students tell other students about their experience, and that's how they find out about what we have to offer. And so because you all have access to people who would like this information, that's one of the ways you can certainly help to help get the information out. And then also, when we have these courses, if you all especially those who work in tech and want to share their experience with our students, that would be a great way to help us, because students need to hear from people who work in the field. They can't just hear from us all the time, and they get tired of hearing from us. And so, if you all are interested in maybe coming to talk to some of our classes about breaking into the field, or career changers or things, I certainly could connect you with some of our professors, especially the professors who teach Google ITSP, because that's the IT support course is a great entry-level course. We usually run a huge group of 30, 40 students, because we want to grab a big group and to see who can actually finish and push those students to pursue higher certifications. Thank you so much, Howard. Michael asked, is the list of partners, does a yellow or white indicate something? That I don't know. This is from our new website. It may. I honestly don't know that question. I'm sorry. But I can say this from looking at the list. The partners in white are partners that have been our partners for a while. So the yellow may be newer partners, because we have a Tequity grant that we've been running through Bank of America for about 4 years. So they're an old partner for us. Live link for the registration.
Yeah, I think a little bit of clarity on that, from the poster, maybe like a sentence with a question would be great. I think, yeah,
I can put the link in the chat if that's maybe what she wants.
well, of course.
Okay, Michael has a great question. Besides internships, is there more general career support with the certificates or degrees? I think specifically the career support is help with resumes, help with cover letters, things like that. We do have career fairs quite a bit to help students. I don't know, Michael, can you expand on what more general career support? You know, one of the things, because I'm also an English professor and I work with students a lot, and I think that one of the ways we can help, one of the ways that we can help our students is encouraging them to take, even if they're not interested in a full degree, encourage them to take more college courses, because one of the complaints we have from employers, not just for tech, but overall, is students and their writing skills. So helping students to take courses that strengthen their employability doesn't necessarily have to be an entire degree, but helping them steer them towards skills, upskilling, because writing is such a big part of the workplace, especially with email. And Tamara, she said maybe it's a live link. It could possibly be a live link. I'm not sure. Thank you so much, guys. These are great questions.
Yeah, and keep, as you're thinking about questions, or if there's something that we're talking about that's being brought up, and then you think of a question, that's also a great way to put a question in the chat. It looks like Michael's says that that's exactly what he was thinking for
Oh, yes, we have that. And Tamara, you're so right. They are live links. Yes, I learned something today. Love learning. The yellow are live links. So please check out our website. We're so excited about this website. We've been trying to get it up for a while. But it's a great way to see a lot of what we do across the district.
Yeah, definitely really, really great for for folks to check out in the chat. I actually have a question, which is, so you have students come in, and what are some of the common, questions that students come up with, come in with, or, kind of what do they ask about, when they like hear about the programs and they're kind of interested in starting?
I think some of the things with specifically with technology, I think some of the things that students struggle with is where to start. Where a lot of times students, they're interested in tech, they unfortunately they think they have more skills than they do. A lot of them should start with our Google ITSP, and they don't. A lot of students want to dive right into our CompTIA cyber, which is a very difficult course and certification. And so I think that's one of the big questions that they have. Where do I start? How do I build a career in tech? Do I need a degree? And that's a big question, and it's an important question. And it's something that I think the answer is very complicated. I've attended CompTIA conferences where they talk about how they really don't want students to feel like they need a degree. But then even those companies in the tech industry talk about how even their HR can be a bit disconnected and still looking for degrees, when the company may say, well, we don't need it, but there's a disconnect. So I think now, it's really evolving, and they're trying to get to a space where students don't necessarily have to have a degree to go into these fields, but I still think there's a long way to go. There's a perception by some that you need a degree, and then there's the perception of some that you don't. And so I think we're getting closer, but I think to answer your question, that's where so many students want to know where do they get started to go into these careers.
Which makes a lot of sense, and it's a learning process for them, I guess, right? And they find out, oh, that like I thought this was my image or my perception of what cyber was, and then they start to get into it, and maybe they think, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do this like certification first, and then I'm going to then do that. Yeah. Oh, so I'm looking at the chat, and it looks like we have another question, which is, what kinds of challenges do non-traditional students and career changers face compared to traditional students? What kinds of resources are focused on helping these students succeed? That's a great question.
That's a great question. Thank you so much, Kyle. In my experience, you'd be surprised. In my experience specifically, since I've been here, I've been in this role for 3 years. I've been a professor with City Colleges for 15 years. And I think we've come full circle with this, because there was a big pushback of people who were career changing or middle-aged, having a harder time finding a job. I don't think that's the case anymore. I actually think that our non-traditional students fare better because they usually do have a degree or some kind of credential. They have work history. They've held jobs in multiple places. And so for employers, they're not as big a risk as someone who's maybe 21, 22, maybe has a couple of credit courses under their belt and 1 or 2 certificates. Our career changers actually fare pretty well, especially with tech. One of our strongest instructors actually was a career changer. He came here, he did the CompTIA cybersecurity, and now he's one of our best instructors. He was our student, now he's our instructor. He teaches Network Plus, he teaches Cybersecurity Plus. He had a position. I believe he was laid off in his position because, as we know, with tech and any other field, that those things happen. But he's God, he's one of our best instructors. He is, and he probably will end up teaching for us full time. So I think specifically when it comes to non-traditional students or career changers, things have gotten a lot better. The perception that those people don't fare as well is not necessarily true. Our students who have that experience have done just as well, or if not better, than some of our younger, more inexperienced students. And just to answer your question about the resources, we have our Career Center and the same resources that are available for all of our students. But, a lot of the students who are non-traditional or career changers don't need those resources as much. But we do have those resources available.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question, and Leah for the response. I'm kind of curious. Have you seen any trends in, folks changing careers over the past few years? You said you've been in the role for 3 years now. Are you seeing trends? Are you seeing anything like that?
Yeah, because mostly now with these courses, a lot of our CompTIA courses, which our CompTIA is probably the most popular because it's very, well recognized in the industry. And most of those students are not young students. I would say most of them are over the age of 25. And I think one of the things that people don't know who don't work in higher ed, and even a lot of people who do work in higher ed, most college students in this country are over the age of 25. Most college students are non-traditional. We're at a point now where students who are 18, 19, fresh out of high school are definitely in the minority in the college space. And so this has really become a space for adult learners. And so everything has become geared towards adult learners. And so, Deanne, to answer your question, yes, there's more students who are going back to school because now it's so much easier. There's classes that are offered at night, via distance, on the weekends, hybrid courses. And so now more than ever, the industry is lending itself to adult learners. And they've responded well. Oh, congratulations. You went back at 58 for a BA. Wow. Congratulations.
That is fantastic. These have been such great questions so far.
Yeah.
Just going to encourage people to put to continue putting them in. One question that I do have is, in the meantime, is these sound like really, really great offerings. Can you talk a little bit about like the growth of the program, over time and what you think is in the future for, I know it's hard to predict or think about the future, but what's in the future that you and your team are excited about in the next, year or two?
I think that one of the things we're excited about, because this is a scary time for higher ed because of our current administration, and a lot of schools have been very nervous about funding, federal funding, and things like that. But for us, we're excited and we're hopeful because a lot of our funding is state funding. We have a huge program called the Workforce Equity Initiative Program, and that's one of the programs that offers the cybersecurity course for free. And so there's a lot of, Governor Pritzker is very supportive of community colleges and community education. And so we're excited about that. And the state investing because this is hyper-specific investment in certain zip codes where they've seen zip codes in the city where people are not working and need these opportunities. And so I think there'll be a lot more opportunities that are just hyper-specific for certain groups that are not as skilled, or, the digital divide, which the digital divide, I remember hearing about that during the millennium, and it's very true, and it's still here. So helping to bridge those gaps. And those one of the things we're really excited about, more funding from the state, and also more funding from employers. And one of the biggest grants that we have is from Bank of America. We have a grant that was for $1 million to help with tech courses and things. And we have it at several campuses. And so I think one of the things that, people really worry about, federal funding and things like that drying up, but there's other funding resources, and one of the larger resources is from employers. And that's because employers right now need employees. They are desperate for employees. And they're so desperate for employees that they're willing to pay schools to help develop pipelines for employees. So, and they should invest in employees. They should invest in the workforce, the labor force. So I think we'll see more of that. VN, that's a great question too. I think we will see more employers investing, and which is also difficult because employers, they want their return on investment. They have standards, and they want us to provide students that have a certain skill level. And so it's a good opportunity for us to prepare students for the workplace, and specifically these tech roles. What roles are coming up? What industries are blossoming? Things like that. So we're in a good place. We're not too worried because we don't have a lot of federal funding, but I think one of the things that I'm hopeful about is employer investment, and then the investment of the state of Illinois back into community colleges.
Yeah, and it sounds like you said Pritzker is helping out and that there is some momentum, and that you're optimistic about some of the help that's potentially going to come. Let me see, I'm looking at the Q&A, and it looks like we have another question. After you fill out a form for I think BOA might refer to Bank of America that you're just talking about, right? What happens next in the timeline? And
I
yeah.
think, Laura, did we meet? Did you come to our job fair, Laura? Or our CTE fair? I think I may have met Laura because she told me about Shy Hack Night as well. For BOA, it depends because we have several courses through the BOA grant, and they have different timelines. And so, okay, that is Laura. So Laura, yeah, just email me because I'll put you in contact with our grant coordinator. Her name is Nikayla. Okay. Her name is Nikayla Smith, and she can let you know what they have coming up next. Because these programs, they're the difference between our continuing ed programs and our credit programs is that our timelines are a little different. For credit, you have summer, fall, spring, and that's it. For the continuing education courses, we use what's called dynamic dates, so we can start and end whenever we want. And so sometimes we have to wait till we have a full class or until we have a teacher, because we don't have that many instructors, and sometimes we have to wait for the instructors to finish to start another one, but we have very good instructors. And so believe me, you would rather us wait for our good instructors to finish to start a new cohort than to bring someone in that we don't think is as great. So it just depends. But thank you. God, these are great questions. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we probably have time for maybe 3 or 4 more questions. And I have Leah, I'm also in education in my day job, and so I also have questions that I can ask if folks, while folks put things in the chat. And one of my questions for you is, so in this specific context, right? What makes for a really good instructor in some of your courses?
Well, I think one of the things we look for is that they have the certification that they want to teach. That's important. You know, have you walked the walk? Have you taken the course, completed the certification exam, and earned the credential? So that's very important. I think also patience is very big because, you know, some of our students, sometimes they do slide into classes that they may not be ready for, you know, so being able to guide students and have those tough conversations, because sometimes you have to tell them that, you know, you're not ready for this. You know, with our cyber course, we've had students that we have to stop out and tell them, encourage them to sign up for our Google ITSP course so that they can have foundational skills. So I think that's some of the things that we're looking for. We're definitely looking for people that are passionate, because, you know, people don't really teach in community colleges for money. You know, we have people who work for Amazon Web Services. One of our huge AI instructors, he works for Amazon Web Services. He does not need to work for us for the money. He's just so passionate about working with students, about, you know, helping people get into technology fields. He's crazily passionate about AI. It's a little scary, but he does work for Amazon Web Services. So that's a part of what he does. But that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people who are passionate, who want to help, because you could possibly change someone's life with these courses, because these courses can lead to a job. They can help stabilize the families. I mean, this is very endearing work, you know, and I'm an English teacher. I'm not teaching anything exciting like technology, because no one likes English and no one wants to see me coming. But for some of these tech courses, you know, if you can teach a Google ITSP course and at the end, those students are able to get a job or internship, it's huge. It's life-changing. So we're really looking for people who are interested in making a difference. But we also do pay a good wage as well. And once you work here, you can teach. Once you're hired at one city college, you could teach at any of them. So that's also a perk as well. Because if there's a teacher maybe over at Malcolm X and I want to use them, all I have to do is call them up and they can come teach for me as well. So that's also very good. Okay, we have another one. Can you accept alternative demonstration of ability besides certifications? Does that mean, what do you mean by accept? Do you mean that for, that's what I'm confused about, the accept. Oh, for hiring. For us to hire you? That could be possible.
So,
I remember because I was at a Microsoft summit where they talked about that. And I know that's something specifically that Microsoft does for people who have other ability besides certifications. But Howard, yes, because we do have some people who are teaching courses just because they've done it all their lives. They may not have that specific certification, but yes, to answer your question, we can accept alternative demonstration of ability for hiring. Yes.
it makes me think of, you know, I think it was a gentleman you just mentioned who worked at Amazon, I guess, Web Services, and, you know, perhaps has been doing cloud engineering for, you know, leading to, you know, doing it for a long time. They probably could take the certification, but, you know, at that point they've been in, you know,
Right.
expert in their field for a while. So yeah, I mean, you know, you know, what was it? I'm sorry. Oh yeah, so I think that's a really great question because while you know Chai Hack Night is welcoming of you know everybody with different kinds of technology skills, there are folks who come here who are just starting out in tech or who are like younger, you know, and so I think it's really great to have a connection, you know, and if they're potentially you know trying to get into tech, but we also have a lot of folks who have worked in technology for a long time and who are perhaps like you know the gentleman you mentioned who is working at Amazon and wants to uh, you know, give back in some kind of way. So,
And also, I just want to add on for Howard's, that's one of the good things about teaching for continuing ed is that we're a lot more flexible. Whereas if you wanted to teach credit like I am, you have to have a master's degree in this specific thing, and you have to have a bachelor's degree. But for continuing education, they're a lot more flexible with hiring. Okay, I understand. No, that I understand completely. Um,
Oh,
no,
wow.
that's a great example of why, if you didn't have it, they would be okay with that because you've worked on with that for so long. As long as it's continuing ed. The credit side is a lot stricter, but for continuing education, there's a lot more leeway.
So I'm looking at the time, and time is flying.